Seidel, owner
Hi.
of the Pizza Palace in Burwell, Nebraska. Welcome, Andrea.
Hi. Thank you.
So I invited you to be here today to just talk about how the whole situation with COVID-19 is impacting your business, and really how you're finding a space to be able to inspire others and keep moving forward through this with a vision of how we're going to come out of this. So maybe introduce yourself and then tell us what's happening with your business.
Okay, great. My name is Andrea Seidel. I'm the owner of the Pizza Palace in Burwell, Nebraska. And I've owned it. November will be 3 years. And so we're still in that honeymoon stage and still trying to make it work. But I grew up in Burwell, went to college, decided to move back. And like I said, November of 2017, I purchased a Pizza Palace, and it's been great ever since. This COVID-19 is something nobody was preparing for across the globe. And so we are just doing our best, trying to come up with any way, any idea to be there for everybody, to support people. You know, we have been trying to keep people in our doors, but also not break the bank for them. So we've been doing lots of specials and just trying to think of every creative way to show our community that we love them and support them.
That's awesome, Andrew. So what I hear you saying right now, you're still able to be open for business, but I know that it's not business as usual. So what restrictions are in place for you right now and how you can operate?
Yes, so I made the decision on Sunday evening to close our dining room doors to the public. We had the 10-person limit, and on Sunday evening we were over 10, and you know, there's people in my family that have health issues, and there's people in town that have the same things, and I just didn't think it was safe. And so we decided to make the decision to close the doors, and it was a hard decision to make. It wasn't easy at all. The Facebook post was, you know, you shed some tears when you pressed post, and it's just a decision we had to make. Ever since then, we've been doing carry out, and we've been trying to make it safe for everybody. They can pay over the phone, they can pay with a check, because we still live in small town Nebraska. And we have just been, like I said, doing creative things to help people's spirits stay afloat. And we have been we had a lunch buffet that was pretty much half of our income in the wintertime, and so we decided to close that. And so now we strictly have no buffet. So we've just been doing like little meal deals throughout the week for people that are still doing business as usual throughout town, and they still need to eat too. So we've just been coming up with fun ways to get our name out there and make light of this.
I love your spirit, and I love how when you talked about putting that post out there, it was more about that decision was made because of the care and concern for the people around you, almost with your business as a secondary thought.
It was, and this hasn't been easy at all. There's been times where we've had to cut back to a skeleton crew, which I usually employ around 20 people, and we've cut it back to maybe about 5. And so that was super hard. It wasn't enjoyable at all. That's the things that some people don't understand. If they're not business owners, it's like you have to make those crucial decisions. And even though you love them, you still can't have them there. So when the school closed, the high school kids that work for me, I let them go for a couple weeks just to see how things play out. And everybody's super understanding, but it's like we can't put them in risk either. And there's people that work for me that have not the greatest health, that have underlining health issues, and it wasn't a safe place for them at all. So we made the decision the high school help, just to let them go for a little bit to see how this plays out. And you know, you have to believe.
You have to make some tough decisions.
It does make for really tough decisions.
And so when you're making those tough decisions, Andrea, I'm a firm believer that how we hold our vision of how this is going to end, or where we want to be at the end of this, that how we react right now and the decisions that we make are either going to determine whether we come out of this, as businesses and as people, either stronger and able to create a platform that we springboard and accelerate from there, or the decisions that we make right now are going to, cause us to go into hiding and out of fear and be way behind when all of this winds down. So how are you keeping the vision of where you want to be as a business at the end of this in mind throughout all of this? Or are you able to do that?
I think it's all preparing. I even That's my biggest thing that I preach to all my employees is you have to prepare for the unexpected. You have to prepare to have 50 people walk in the door at one time and they all want pizza. You just have to be prepared for everything. And so we've just really been prepared for this. The moment it happened, like the moment the word got out, it was like, oh, what's going to happen? We don't know. But it's like you find your resources, you figure out what needs to happen, you come up with plan A, B, through Z, because that's what you have to do. And you have to have the mentality of sink or swim, and we're not going to fail. Like if we do fail, it's not from a lack of trying, it's like we're going to fight the whole way down, and you just have to have that determined spirit. And I do. And it's like you're going to have to do. I'm constantly racking my brain and talking to my employees and utilizing all my resources, and your employees are such great resources. It's like, okay, what other things can we be doing? How can we find an extra $5,000 in this time? Like, what can we be doing that we need to do to help others, but then also help us survive? And so we've just been racking our brains. We turn to social media, and ultimately, like, I don't preach religion a lot, but I'm pretty spiritual, and it's like you just got to believe in your higher power. You got to believe that you're going to get through it, and you have to believe that things were meant to be, and you just have to keep a positive attitude and keep going strong.
Yeah, I like what you say there, Andrea, because it really goes back to the foundation of, do we believe that where we're at, there's a reason and a purpose for where we're at? And people who are in business that know that their business serves a purpose, it serves some greater mission in their life, they're connected to that bigger picture, I believe, have something stronger to cling to in times like this, of believing that everything is going to turn out in the end stronger. I also believe that these times they poke sore spots in us that show us where we might have a weakness in our foundation, and gives us the opportunity to look at that and grow, right? So any insights around that?
Oh, I'm going to be a better boss after this is over for sure. It really does show where your weaknesses are and places where you can grow, because I was always, I don't love to make decisions, and I know that's what you have to do as a business owner, but I just cringe. But it's like, now it just kind of takes all the emotion out of it. You're like, well, this has to happen in order for us to survive. So sorry, but this is what our next plan is going to be. And it's going to just really help us to dig down and be more cost effective and more economical and make smarter choices. Like it's like do or die, honestly. So in order for us to survive, you have to make smart choices and make good decisions and stand behind them. And you have to make those decisions fast. And I was talking to one of my really good friends and role model last night, and she lives out in Denver, and we were talking, and I was like, one time you told me to just, instead of going day by day, go hour by hour. And that's what we have been doing, is just in those crucial times where you're like, I have no idea what we're going to do. We're just going to get through this hour and figure out what our next step is after that. So, and there are tears shed. I'm not going to lie. It's rough. It's not perfect, but cling on to the good times you have and the positive thoughts that are happening, because that's what's going to get you through the next hour.
I love that. And the determined spirit that we're not going to sink in this. We're going to do everything that we can. And I think it's that creativity that will push you through. And I've heard you say some of the things like you've changed from your buffet to offering meal plans to, I think, doing some delivery that you maybe didn't normally do. I know you do frozen foods too. So you're looking at all sorts of different creative ways that you can serve your customer during this time. And how important is that to your customer right now that you continue to be there to do that?
Oh, I hope good. I don't know. We're just trying to keep normalcy in their life because we live in a town of 1,200 people, and everybody and their dog. Like which is awesome because they they you take care of them and they're going to take care of you, and our community has just taken care of us way more than I ever anticipated, and it's just like it makes a person tear up and cry because you're just so grateful for them to be here, and I'm so grateful to be in this community that even people that grew up in this town and live miles away still want to come and support you. And so it's like, okay, so what's our next step to do? Are we going to grow our business and not even mean to? But it's like, okay, do we need to look into putting our merchandise online? Like, do we need to sell t-shirts online? Do we need to ship our pizzas? Like, I don't know. We don't know what to do next, and whatever resources we
Into
have.
exploring those ideas, which is so awesome.
Yes. So.
And I think right now there's going to be new ideas and new opportunities come out of this because we're placed in a situation where we're forced to make those new choices instead of just business as normal. So that's the cool piece that's going to come out of this.
And my friend Lynn and I were talking, it's like, this could be way worse. I mean, it really could be worse. And so that's what I'm looking at. And it's like, I still have my family, we still have a business, I still have all of the community and the supporters and my family, and we're all got to just take care of each other.
Agreed. We'll get through it together. Well, thank you. I know you're at work today, and you even warned me before we started that, you might have some work interruptions while we were going on. So you didn't have those. So that's great. Any final parting thoughts that you'd like to give out to our audience, just encouraging them to keep going on?
All I have to say is it's whatever you believe in, but just believe in something and be determined and know that, and work really hard. And at the end of the day, you tried your hardest, and you're going to survive, and everything's going to be okay. We're all going to make it through this. It's not going to be pretty, but we're going to survive. And you know what? I really think at the end of this, we're all going to grow and become a stronger nation. And I think it will change the face of business. I don't think, I think there's room to grow, and you got to grow and change with the times, and just have determination and belief. And I think everything's going to be okay.
Beautiful, beautifully said. Thank you, Andrea, for taking the time out of your day to visit with me and share your words of wisdom with everyone else. So have a great rest of your afternoon.
Yep. Take care.